Yo, 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 yo. It is another episode of the number one weekend podcast of hip hop in the game. This is the Weekend Rhyme. I'm your boy RKY. That is super duper. We on the road.
Really
We out here
good.
doing things. Sorry, we haven't been tapping in as we normally do. We've been moving and grooving. I've been ripping around the country. Super been ripping around the country. And we took a little hiatus, but we back at it, man. What's good, brother? What's good with you, brother?
Hey, what's really good, Rob, man?
You hear me?
I don't feel too bad about the hiatus, man. We like to talk about the music, and it ain't been too much music to talk about. So if we got to come through just to talk about some of the issues in the daily, the weekly hip hop rumors and gossip, it is what it is. Though we're gonna tap in with the people and let everybody know how we feel about what's been going on.
No doubt, no doubt. So anyway, before we get into the proceedings this evening, I want to make sure you do the needful. Hit like and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button. It's very, very important that you do so. Put a comment. Let us know what you think, what you listening to. Also, if you want to buy us a cup of coffee, send us a super thanks, super chat. You do that. We appreciate it. But we got a good show for you today. We're going to talk about the artist formerly known as Kanye West, Ye, his stadium situation, his tour, his concerts, what's going on with that, the cancellations, the announcements, and how we feel about him being, put through the ringer per se for these tour dates. Also going to talk about what makes a rapper corny. Super sent me a clip the other day about how being corny can impact your career and can you recover from being corny. We'll also touch about this Gucci and Pooh Shiesty situation, what it means, the implications, and a lot of narratives around it. And we won't talk about the main thing today. We're gonna hold off on that. And I think on that episode, it'd just be me talking because I think Super said he's not talking about it. Any second we could be on right now. Iceman is thawing out. Iceman gonna drop. But anyway, we'll save that for another day. But let's get into the proceedings this evening.
It's gonna drop, or it might not ever come. It's gonna be one or the other, Rob.
It's set up to come.
Hey, they've been talking about Iceman for 2 years now. I mean, people been talking about they got him rewriting verses, redoing songs, throwing shit in the garbage. It might not even ever come, so we never know what's gonna happen.
Well, we got some signs that it's coming because we saw the Toronto Raptors. He had the seats, his courtside seats was iced out. It was frozen. You know what I'm saying? There was a big explosion in Toronto. He was shooting a video called Bot Games. I don't know if that's another diss record. I don't know if that's a diss record. I don't know what that is. It was called Bot Games, apparently. They thought it was a big explosion in Toronto. DJ Academics, he's been putting out, tweets saying it's coming. But anyway, we're gonna hold off on that. But let's get into Kanye. Let's get into Ye. As you all know, he did, I think, 3 shows at SoFi Stadium a few weeks ago. And from what I heard from our folks in LA, the shows were dope. He sat on top of a globe. The aesthetic was dope. The situation of how he set up his stage was dope. It was flawlessly executed. Now, I heard some criticism saying that, his breath control wasn't there. He started songs over and over again. But from what I heard, on a consistent level, I heard that people enjoyed the show. They said he was on top of his game. It was a great experience. But in the aftermath of the shows at SoFi, and I think he also brought up CeeLo Green. He brought out his daughter. He brought out Travis Scott. He brought out Lauryn Hill. People were saying things. People were saying that, why did people come out to support him? I think the show broke records at SoFi too. So that's another thing that happened. He broke records. But people were saying on Twitter and TikTok and X and IG, like, why would people be out there supporting, Kanye? They were disappointed in people showing up. And I want to speak on that a little bit. I think at some point we have to allow artists to be artists. And yes, Kanye might have said controversial things that hurt different people, but he has since apologized. And I'm a type of person that separates the music from the artist. Every artist in the history of the world, musicians are not historically morally upright people. I mean, rock and roll was called sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking at as a musician to be your moral authority or to be a perfect person, I think you're misguided. It's always been artists has always been flawed. Maybe they've been on drugs. Maybe we celebrate artists in our community that might have been shooters or killers. You know what I mean? I mean, all types of flawed individuals, pimps and hustlers. We walk a thin line when we try to cast judgment on one artist and then give another artist a pass. So I had no problem with people going out to celebrate, the release of Bully and go to the SoFi shows. But also we're seeing now that, the Wireless Festival he was headlining was canceled because sponsors pulled out, and then Parliament and other officials in England and the United Kingdom blocked him from entering the country. We saw another cancellation in Europe. I think it was in France. So we see a lot of these cancellations, and my only point is I think we should move on because, from what I understand, nobody that's been affiliated with nefarious things that we've been talking about as a country for the last 4 or 5 years have been banned from these places, but yet we're banning Kanye. I think it's misguided. Again, we look at musicians historically; they've always been, morally ambiguous. We don't always, when we brush that aside for the ones that we like. And I think if the man apologized, there's a market for his shows. Allow that man to cook. What say you, Super?
I mean, you know me, man. I never was mad at Kanye from the beginning. If anybody know any of our history on this topic when it come down to Kanye and who he was mad at and who he was supposed to be disrespecting or showing his anger to or his frustration to, I didn't care. I wasn't mad at Kanye for doing his thing. But I will say this. I think it's awfully strange that they got the power and the time to ban Kanye West, but ain't nobody banned from that list. And when I say that list, you know what list I'm talking about. Ain't no charges for them dudes. Ain't nobody getting banned from countries. Ain't nobody getting boycotted and picketed. I mean, I think if anybody should be banned, it should be Bill Gates. I mean, to be honest with you, and a bunch of other people that's on that on that Epstein list. If UK want to set an example of their morality and and their pure ways of doing whatever they think that they doing. I mean, the people chose, man. People they still like Kanye. It is what it is. Everybody ain't mad at Kanye. So since they seen Kanye come out and get so much support, selling out shows and in matter of hours, now they're gonna take it upon themselves to try to step in and cancel them for us. You know what I mean? If people still want to see Kanye, people still want to hear Kanye, and people ain't as mad as you want them to be about Kanye, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that I think it's super hypocritical, and people should be like looking upside their heads like it's kind of crazy. We banning this black rap artist that said some controversial things or some hateful things, however you want to look at it, whatever. You know what I mean? I ain't here to throw him no bail on what he said. I just wasn't never mad at him. If you decide to be mad at him, then that's on you. So, I mean, if you want to flex your power and you want to show that Kanye is where what you say your moral capacity is that's your limit and Kanye is the cutoff point, then I want to see some more of these people on that list getting banned from that country as well. You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna stand on it, we're gonna stand on it. So that's really my opinion on it. I mean, like I said, man, and I think Nas said it best. Riders never get canceled. Somebody like Kanye, I think that he got a confused and a checkered history. But if you ride with Kanye, you ride with Kanye. I mean, it's a lot of people that think they feel like they understand Kanye. It's a lot of people that don't agree with what he's saying, but they not as mad as other people about what he did. So, I mean, this is where they say capitalism or the market. The market chose Kanye. I mean, he put on one of the greatest shows that we ever seen visually. I think I ever seen, like, that probably was one of the dopest concerts that I ever seen just from the videos alone. The graphics, how he set up the stage, the crowd participation, how everybody was reacting to it. It was dope, and we can't deny that. So, I mean, if the government want to step in and tell Kanye he can't come perform for people that want to see him because they on some moral high ground, then like I said, man, what's up with what? I don't want to see Bill Gates doing no more TED talks, or I don't want to see any of these other guys that's on that list up here talking to the world or going into countries and getting the red carpet treatment. That's it for me.
Exactly, Super. And I think it's hypocritical because I seen some of our people be on TikTok and IG and X, Twitter, saying things and beating in Kanye's back end. But again, when we listen to some of our artists, we know artists might got bodies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Took life. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate artists that sold drugs to the community. You know what I'm saying? So now this is a bridge too far. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. I think it's hypocritical. I think we need to analyze how we're approaching this. But again, the market spoke. There's still a market for Kanye. I heard someone say the only people that like Kanye and everybody that was at the show was MAGA or racist. I was like, man, that's not true, man. Kanye is a superstar. He's been a superstar for almost 3 damn decades. People like him, man, and it is what it is. And sometimes you just can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? You just can't explain how some people are superstars. Michael Jackson was a superstar. Prince was a superstar. Madonna's a superstar. Kanye is a superstar. So allow him to do what he need to do. I think it's hypocritical, as you said, that people that's not on that list are not being banned, from these countries, but yet Kanye is. I think that's problematic. And I think, I will go to a show. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't know what show I'll go to, but if he
I'm gonna keep it
does a
real
tour,
too,
I'll
Ron.
see it because that's some of the.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real too. I mean, as a black man, I'm kind of proud to see that he kind of can't be canceled. Like I kind of like that in Kanye. Like I feel I'm proud of him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm proud that the powers that be can't take him down. I'm proud that he can like weather through these storms and he can still put out the #1 album for the week or whatever. You know what I mean? I think that is dope as hell to just show his resiliency and to show like what he really mean to the culture. You know what I mean? I like a lot of guys that they ain't done as much as Kanye as far as speaking out on issues or even being controversial. But he just one of those personalities that you either can understand him, you can disagree with him, or you can agree with him, or you just don't care. I think that Kanye West just kind of falls in that you kind of just don't care about what he's saying and what he's doing as long as it sound dope and it sound cool. And he just one of those guys. Like I said, he almost like a Donald Trump. And if you really think about it, he almost untouchable. He one of them dudes that can do down there what he want to. You know what I mean? Up until people have, and up until he really go too far. I don't know if we'll see how far Donald Trump can ride this wave of how people feeling about him, but his approval rating is going down, man. I mean, Kanye might be one of the only human beings, let alone black human beings alive, that can survive this type of hate. You know what I mean? Hate, whether it's self-inflicted hate, whether it's however you want to look at it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't here to shoot him no bail or apologize for him or take up for him or nothing, but I am proud to see that he one of those dudes that you can't just tell anybody something about him and then everybody gonna run with it. Like people either got real love for him or they got real hate for him, and it is what it is.
Right. I mean, and also, man, we got to separate. Again, I'm a big proponent of separating the music from the artist. And I say that to say historically, let's look at, I wasn't a fan, but Elvis Presley was, look at what Elvis Presley was doing. He stole music from folk. You know what I'm saying? He had a
Married
young
an
wife,
underage
a very
girl.
young wife,
Right.
right? So people still rock with him, and there's no problem, right? Um you got shot, and again, allegedly you had King Von, and some of King Von's music was dope, and they say King Von got several bodies. You know what I'm saying? Dirt. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And
we
I
can just
enjoy
like I
their
said,
music.
man,
You know what I'm
we
saying?
can
So we
go.
got people.
Like I said, man, we can go to other people. We can go to Dana White's. We can go to Elon Musk. He was just up there at the inauguration doing a so-called Nazi salute. I mean, we can go to Adidas. Adidas is a Nazi company. People forgave them and they still purchasing and buying their shoes. You know what I mean? So, like, look, it's cool. I understand people's outrage, and you can feel however you feel. I'm not here to tell you to like Kanye or to forgive him or nothing, but I just think that you can't choose and make me mad at Kanye. And I like that from the fans. I think the fans are deciding if they want to be mad at Kanye or not. You can't tell people to be mad at Kanye for whatever reasons that you want to be mad at Kanye. People gonna decide how they gonna feel about Kanye one way or another. And I respect that. I got nothing but love for that.
And my point is, even if you disagree with somebody, even this person is a jerk or an asshole or wrong, the music is the music. If you didn't know nothing about none of that, is the Bully album a solid album? I think the Bully album is a solid album. I think there's a lot of dope songs on the album. Regardless of whatever he said or did or whatever, it's just a solid album. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it. And I really don't hate to say it because it's the truth. We got to start keeping it 100, keeping it a buck. R. Kelly, done what he did, got convicted for it. But you can't tell me Step in the Name of Love, Happy People, you remind me of my Jeep, you know what I'm saying? 12 Play, you know what I'm saying? I Wish, or dope records, you know what I'm saying? Or I Believe I Can Fly. He made dope music. You even got Michael Jackson. He got a movie coming out, a biopic. We're gonna do a the Weekend Rhyme review on this. The day it dropped, we're gonna check it out. We're gonna do our Siskel and Ebert. But he was saying he likes to give children milk and cookies. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you can't tell me Thriller, Off the Wall, you know what I'm saying? You Rock My World, you know what I'm saying? Eyes, you know what I'm saying? Dangerous ain't dope records. The Jackson 5. I'm not gonna stop listening to them records. Again, I wouldn't want homies serving my kids milk and cookies, but maybe it's
look,
just innocent. You know what I'm saying?
Ron, you exactly right, man. It's tape out there with Joe Biden saying the N-word, and people still ran out and act like he was black people's number one fucking friend. It is what it is, man, when it come down to it. If we're going to offer forgiveness for them for being racist politicians and pedophiles on the E-list and everything else, you know what I mean? Then Kanye definitely, I don't even understand how you half as mad at Kanye and you forgiving half these other people. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Right. Eminem got tape out there. You know what I'm saying? We got folks saying they so cracked to their moms and so cracked to folks' fathers and stuff. Okay. Yeah, maybe they did that when they was young. I ain't knocking it, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But we celebrating them. We putting them in museums and got editorials and holding them, so what is it? You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, we got people that's not even claiming. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there because that's, you know what I'm saying. That's allegedly. That might be too much. You know what I'm saying, for me to go into. You know what I'm saying. I don't want to get canceled or the podcast booted off of YouTube,
man.
But
anyway, regardless, though, Ron, man, shout out to the people for not just going for the bullshit. I mean, if you like Kanye, you like Kanye, man. It is what it is. Same people ain't got no shame in liking Donald Trump. You fuck with Kanye, you fuck with Kanye. If you want to go see him at concerts, you still like his music, you still rocking with him, how you rocking with him, salute to you, man. That's bravery in itself, you know what I mean? And I think that, they shouldn't be telling and selecting who we need to cancel. If people don't want to hear from Kanye, they won't go.
Right. And it's the same thing. It's the same people that did something similar with Chris Brown. Like, I still see people to this day that won't let this Chris Brown situation go, man. And for all intents and purposes, Chris Brown's got one of the greatest shows, one of the greatest performers we have, and folks are still we can't let him do the Super Bowl, or we can't let him do these award shows. I mean, when is enough, man? You know what I'm saying? When is enough? When is enough? And when is we as a community, as a culture, going to say, man, we got to stop allowing this stuff to happen, man, because everybody else gets to move on, but we can't move on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gets to move on with their day and do what they want to do, but we just got to just hold ours. We just got to permanently limit what type of opportunities that our people have. It's just a strange situation. We gotta call it out. We gotta call it out.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I
You
think it's
got caught
very
up.
I think it's hypocritical, it's selective outrage, and it's almost it's racist. Let's just keep it 100, man. This shit is racist, b. It's racism. It's racism, like for real, because they don't never offer, they don't never make us try to go so this hard on somebody that's white that's been forgiven. They never try to make you stick to. They be like, oh,
Right.
he apologized, he moved on, he did this and that, and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? They let look. These same people got Nick Fuentes coming on podcasts. He going on and doing shows, and they let Nick Fuentes come on and talk. But Kanye West is a risky interview. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get it. The only thing that I see is that he a black man saying and going against who they don't want you to go against, versus a dude like Nick Fuentes talking shit about the people that everybody talks shit about, which is us. So I mean, if we're gonna be mad about it, I think that Nick Fuentes should not be allowed to go on these podcasts and be mainstreamed by all of these people that keep mainstreaming him. He going on every mainstream podcast, getting his voice heard, getting his opinion heard, getting all his disrespect out here. But they telling us that Kanye West need to be canceled and banned, and we shouldn't be messing with him, and we got the government got to stop in and stop Kanye for your own good, even though you want to hear from him and you like his music still. I just think it's bullshit.
Right. I wonder if Nick Fuentes is banned from coming to England. I wonder if he can go to London. I bet he can fly.
I doubt it.
I bet he can fly to London with no
Right, I
problem.
doubt
it. With no problem. No problem. But yeah, we're gonna segue into something else. Super, you always send me YouTube videos, which I appreciate. I take a look at them because I've been on the road, Super been on the road. But when I'm got a break, I see these videos that Super sent me. You sent me a clip about rappers, you know what I'm saying, get with the corny label. And I thought it was funny because on the thumbnail of this video, we had and I'll link it to the chat. We had Logic, we had Big Sean, and we had LaRussell. And it was titled When Corniness Kills a Career. So I got to thinking, like, who are the corniest rappers that I can think of? That I look at this rapper as like, man, this is a corny rapper. I would say Big Sean is one. You know what I'm saying? Even though I like Big Sean, and it's tough for me to say that. I think Big Sean is cool. I like some of his music, but he's got that corny label to him. I would say Logic. I mean, I think it was accurate. I think LaRussell does some corny things. So I'm thinking outside of those three,
man.
you know
who was supposed to make that list too. You know good and well who was supposed to make that list. You know,
no,
you are
Eminem.
Nah. I mean,
Eminem?
he could have made the list too, but you know who should have made that list.
You gonna say Cole? You gonna say Cole?
Good, exactly. You know Cole should have made that list. Cole should have made that list too. Actually, if they do a part two, Cole got to be number one on that list as far as niggas that then got labeled as corny, especially now. It wasn't that bad for Cole a couple years ago, but now Cole definitely got that corny label on him, and it's gonna be hard for him to shake that corny label off of him now. It's gonna be hard.
You know what though? We gonna touch on that. You gonna talk, but I'm thinking about corny. You know who else was a corny? Mace had the corny. Well, the Mace had kind of had it.
I mean,
Mace kind of had it. Mace.
I think that I can't say that. I won't say that it was Mace. I think that at the time people was looking at his production as corny sometimes, like, you know, taking all them old Motown records or them old 60 records and kind of like flipping them. I think that people was looking at Bad Boy as kind of corny for like their production choice. I don't think that Mace rhymes
like Loon was kind of corny.
Look,
you know
for me, when I think of a corny rapper, I think of guys like Wale. I think of Ludacris. You know what I mean? Ludacris is corny. Busta Rhymes is corny to me too. I mean, to be honest with you, I think Busta Rhymes is really super corny for real. He got some moments, but he a corny rapper too. That I don't think that unless you from New York, everybody else look at Busta as corny. If you're from anywhere else, I don't think people got the same respect for Busta Rhymes as they do in New York. I think that Busta is globally or regionally or intercontinentally looked at as a corny rapper, like Ludacris is. So I think that it's a couple
Eminem.
guys that Eminem is definitely a corny rapper. Like he's definitely the he's the corny rapper, but the creme of the creme of the corny rappers. You know what I mean? He's the top tier of the corny rapper.
Chance the Rapper.
Definitely a corny rapper. I will put. I don't think LaRussell earned the right to be there, but his recent actions have put him there. Like I don't think that he was there before this, like before the even you and you know what I mean, the heaven sent. I don't think that he was really all the way in that corny lane before the heaven sent verse, but it's gonna be definitely hard for him. He still got a chance because his rap career is still so young and people don't know that much about him, that he still got the chance to kind of get out of that corny lane because he don't have as much history. So it's all gonna be dependent on what LaRussell do from here if he can shake the corny tag. But yes, he deserves to be in that corny lane right now. But the way that that video kind of highlighted him as the number one corny guy based on that, I thought that was a little bit like out of order a little bit. But I agree with the Big Sean, the who else they have? Jordan Lucas, Logic.
Logic.
Right. But they was being a little nice because just as hard as he talked about LaRussell, he could have definitely talked about J.Cole. He could have definitely talked about Wale. He could have definitely talked about Ludacris, Eminem. It's a couple more people,
Will
like, to be
Smith.
honest with you. Yeah, but he was always
Will
there. Like,
Smith. You got
he kind of don't count because he's an 80s rapper. You know what I mean? Like that's like counting Kid and Play. You kind of can't count some of those 80s guys as like corny because it was kind of the time. You know what I mean? Like you can't count MC Hammer as a corny rapper. It was like the 90s. It was kind of the time. It was, you know what I mean? When it was like house party and dance rap and that feel good, like the Humpty Dance and shit. You can't consider Digital Underground corny, man. It was like the time. You know what I'm saying?
You got Chingy on that list.
Not really, man.
You got Chingy.
I think Chingy was more authentic to the South and to St. Louis. I don't think it was corny. I think it was more regional and it was St. Louis. I don't think it was corny.
Okay.
I wouldn't put Nelly there. I wouldn't even put Ja Rule in the corny section because those guys got a little bit of reputation. They were doing music that was kind of against the grain, but I still would not put them in the corny range for real. It's some rappers that have built a career on being corny. I honestly believe that J.Cole should have been the number one guy on that list. I think that J.Cole has been corny since he came out. And then he started to shed that corny label for me during his feature run. During the the 21 Savage feature, during the Benny the Butcher feature. He started shedding a little bit of his corny label for me then. And then this interview run that he just went back on made him number one corny rapper for me. If anybody gonna be on the list.
I'm not trying to shoot. I ain't gonna try to shoot Cole no bail, but I think the part when he came out as being corny, they tried to make him another Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Rockefeller, I think Rock Nation did that. You know what I'm saying? Rock Nation tried to make him a Kanye. They didn't let him even like, you know what I'm saying, how he was dressing with the Letterman jacket. You know what I'm saying? They tried to make him something that he wasn't. You know what I mean? Maybe he was that. Maybe with his whole rollout, you know what I'm saying, was a Kanye thing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I can't. I put that on Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? I think as he, he came into his own, you know what I'm saying, Forest Hills Drive, he kind of got away from that. You know what I'm saying? Right after Born Center. Like right after Born Center, he kind of came in like KOD, Forest Hills Drive, Eyes Only, you know what I'm saying, the off season. He kind of broke the corny label. And I think he was one of the first artists that kind of successfully did it.
I will add to this corny list too, to be honest with you, even though, I'm gonna get some pushback on it, but I don't care. I will add Common to this corny list a little bit too. He a little too over the top.
Man.
Look, he a dope guy. he a dope rapper, but at the same time he's so preachy that it come off as corny. I think that's always been a label. That's
But
always been a label on
but that
Common.
didn't
Like,
happen. That didn't happen until he started getting into the movies and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's post. I think the corny label was like post B when he started writing books. And he started getting on The View and all these talk shows, and
well, no, I think that
he
he was
started
corny.
dating. You know what I'm saying?
I think he was instantly corny after there are times when you need the light. The light made him corny for real. The light
That's a
is what it
dope
was.
record
Like,
though. Man.
it's dope. It is dope.
That ain't a dope
But
record.
it's dope. It's a dope record. I love it. I'm not, so like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect them, but I won't pretend that Common wasn't labeled with the corny label. I won't pretend that. I mean, if we gonna keep it real, and at least people that was in my friend group, Common was always labeled as corny too. You know what I mean? Even though that he was dope as hell on the mic, he got a classic album. The album that people think is corny is still a classic, but he did still get that corny label. He still did get that corny, kind of preachy, kind of black male feminist, kind of ass kissy label. He did, at least from my friend group. So I'm just gonna speak on it, man. I think that he's one of those guys. If you want to do
To me, that didn't happen to like Finding Forever. I thought, well, you saying it happened before that. It came with like Love for Chocolate.
It happened with the light. It happened with the light. There was a certain community or a certain section of hip hop that put him in that corny label. I'm not gonna say I'm not
So you
truly
thought he
one
was
of
one of
them.
them brothers. You thought Common was one of them brothers that was like trying to holler at women with the incense on the street corner, like my
Exactly.
sister, my
That's what he
beautiful
was.
black queen.
Right. And he got labeled as
He had
corny.
the beanie on.
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
sisters be falling for that shit, bro. They be falling for that.
Hey, they do, and then they start
I
coming
mean,
to fuck with. They do that, and then they come fuck with a nigga like me a little bit later, man.
But he was with Erykah Badu at the time, you know what I'm saying? So Erykah Badu probably had him all, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never knew a love like this. Gotta be something for me to write this queen. I ain't seen you in a minute.
It's a shame. It's a shame how we do that to our rappers. Like I said, for me, I'm a Common fan. I'm a hip hop head. I respect his bars. But when I would speak on Common to other people, this is what they would tell me. He corny. He a black male feminist. He this or that. He's soft. So yeah, he got labeled as corny too. But we don't like to speak about it. So like I said, man, if we, it's more people that could have did a deeper dive on.
Ooh, I got somebody that should be on the list, but I ain't gonna do that because if I say this person's name, they're gonna say I'm a hater. They're gonna say I'm old and washed up. They're gonna say I don't know what I'm talking about. They're gonna say I ain't even gonna say it, bro. But if you gonna say Common is corny, then for damn sure this person gotta be on the list, bro. This
You talking about Kenny? Don't say you can't.
I heard from folks on the West Coast that he took somebody's style and flow, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but if you want to say Common on the list, I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna let you say it. Who you think I'm thinking of right now, Sue? Because if I say it, I'm gonna be wrong.
I know you thinking about Kenny, but like I said, it ain't. It's not legit enough though, fam.
Why not?
Because it's not, because his conscience hit. Like when he talk about the shit that he talk about, it hit. It's not the same as some of these other guys that, like, I don't think that nobody's put Kendrick in a corny label. You know what I mean? Like he might come off maybe as a little bit preachy or maybe hypocritical or something like that, but he ain't never corny, man. Like I can't do that to him. I don't think that that the label don't fit Kendrick. It don't fit Kendrick. It's not preachy enough for one, and it's not corny enough. He not trying to like make you feel nothing. He telling you what he feel. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that if it's either with him, you either relate or you don't. With a guy like Common or a dude like J.Cole, it's like you gotta relate or you gotta feel what they saying. Otherwise, you ain't human, or you not a good person, or you not nice. And that's what makes them corny. Like if you don't agree with what Common say or what a J. Cole say, then you something wrong with you as a person. You something wrong with your blackness, or something wrong with your maturity, or something wrong with you. I don't think that Kendrick really come off like that, because he more like giving you his thoughts and his feelings, or his experience. He's not preaching to you about how you should feel about it. I think those other guys come
All
off
right,
more.
you know what? That was a convincing argument. So I'm glad I didn't say what I was going to say, because you convinced me to rethink that. I still think there's some elements of corniness there, but you know, but I
Ron.
got you. I got you.
I get you too, though. Hey, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand what you mean and what you're saying, but it don't really fit it when you really go through the music and you really listen to him. He not corny. He kind of being realistic as far as what he think. You know what I'm saying? I think that he more true to himself than trying to pander. I think those other guys are more panderers than true to themselves.
Got it. Okay. So I got you. See, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. I did my Dr. Umar Johnson. I said it 3 times. Hit like and subscribe. Sisters and brothers, hit like and subscribe. Brothers, hit like and subscribe. But anyway, these conversations are very important. See, I was going to say one thing, but Super put together his argument and made me reconsider. So shout out to Super for that. But yeah, let us know in the comments who you think the corniest rapper in the game is. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of corny MCs? Super said a lot of controversial things they may kick our back in for. He said Busta Rhymes is corny.
It's all good. I'll take it.
There's a lot of people gonna be like, oh, bust a bus, you know what I'm saying? So
hey, have you been paying attention to that?
I don't know.
But hey, look, hey, shout out to my guy that I can't remember his name or nothing, but he do that trash bar series on like Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, wherever he do it at. I'm not sure, but I keep running across him, and I actually think he's from Milwaukee. I think he might be, but I'm not sure. But he got a whole trash bar, and he posts up a bunch of trash bars. He didn't win at RZA. He didn't win at a lot of different guys, to be honest with you. But he been going at Busta Rhymes head for these trash bars. And if you go through and listen to some of these bars from Busta Rhymes, hey, over the years, he been kicking Busta. He been kicking his back in.
Yo, this might be controversial. This may be blasphemous. This may be cause to get me, exiled from the speaking about hip hop. But there's an MC, and I'm just gonna see if you can get this one. So this MC that's revered as one of the best, top 5, top 3. There's a lot of corny songs and a lot of corny bars. But he's known as being one of the GOATs. Can you think of this artist that I'm saying, Sue?
I mean, I can think of a couple of guys, to be honest with you. I mean, you talking about M?
So this MC is thought of. No. This person started. It's not Eminem. This person started one of the ones. Like, he's the GOAT.
People, I mean, you definitely talk. You talking about Jay-Z there? There's no doubt about it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you listen to some of these records, I would say, what's that song? That Diamond song with like, come here. A lot of stuff is kind of like, Venus versus Mars. It's a lot of suspect bars, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
I think that we're gonna have to save this subject for next week.
Tom Ford.
We're gonna have to do a whole deep dive in this conversation, to be honest with you, man, because over the last couple of weeks and over the last couple of years, like over the last 2 years or so, I've been looking at Jay a little different, man, as far as all these revelations about the songs he been stealing, the beats he took, the hooks he took, the concepts he took. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. We might have to have a real deep conversation about Jay, but I don't think that we're ready for that conversation today. But that's one thing that we're gonna have to come up with. We're gonna have to come up and talk about that, right?
we're gonna have to have a conversation, man, because again, if you go bar for bar, it's a lot of corny things, bro. You know, I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it a stack. You know what I mean? You know, but we all have bad days, man. Some days we have whack podcasts. Some days so
It
maybe
is what it
we cut
is.
him, shoot him some bail. He has some whack bars here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I go back and listen to some of his records. Like I listen to Magna Carta, Holy Grail. I listen to Blueprint 3. Man, I mean, there's a lot of corny bars on that joint. It's a lot of corny things. So those are the ones that
I
stick
mean,
out to me. It was
look,
it was S. Carter Volume 3, Blueprint 3, and then Magna Carta is where I see a lot of things and suspect. But what you about to say?
no, I mean, I think that this whole subject, to be honest with you, deserve a whole. We deserve to give Jay-Z a whole run on this. Like, to be honest with you, we might need to do a whole separate podcast and give this subject at least about a good hour of talking, because it's a lot out there that we really need to discuss with Jay-Z, man. I mean, to be honest with you, we do need to start discussing his position. I mean, can you be the GOAT with all these stealing of hooks and songs and beats, and taking songs off of albums, and taking songs from Memphis Bleak, taking songs from Oskino and Sparks, taking songs from Camp Low. I mean, we really do need to talk about this for real. We're gonna have to have a real hip hop discussion and about Jay and these moves and all these topics that's been coming out about.
I think we should do that. I think we should title the episode. It could be a series. It could be like a discussion. Oh, see, so folks gonna jack this, but we're gonna call it a discussion.
It's all good.
Jay-Z, a discussion.
Hey, I mean, it's been
Eminem,
talked
a
about. It's been talked
discussion.
about before, so it ain't like it's a super new subject. But every other month or every other week, we keep coming out with a new Jay-Z album that he didn't took, or a concept that somebody had, and he either bought the beat, or he took the rhyme flow, or he didn't took the hook, or some way or another, where it's been a lot of influence of other people in Jay's music, and we give him a lot of credit for a lot of this shit, but he getting that shit from a lot of other places, man. I mean, I don't know, man. I was talking to Mike D. You know what I mean? Like, we was texting about this because he put the video up, about Oskino, or not Oskino, yeah, Oskino, talking about the couple bogus moves that Jay made musically. I'm not gonna get into if he got a daughter or not. Who cares? I don't care about none of that. But as far as musically, I mean, somebody that we consider the GOAT, and we really do a deep dive into it. Jay ain't really got too many hooks that's original. Most of his hooks is done by somebody else, or a feature, or a sample or something like that. It's a lot that we can talk about with Jay when it comes down to ranking him or comparing him to other guys that may be more original than him, may have less baggage or less thievery or whatever, however you want to call it. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, I think that we need to do a deeper dive than that. Then, like, this ain't, we can't do a flyby conversation about it. So stay tuned for that conversation coming up about Jay and a lot of that shit that he been doing. And where should we be really ranking him? Is he qualified to be the GOAT after a lot of these allegations? Can he be the GOAT after a lot of these allegations? I think it's a worthy conversation.
I think so too. So we're gonna tap in and stay tuned. Make sure you tap into us on X, on IG, on anywhere your socials are. We're gonna let you know when that episode is gonna drop, because we gotta unpack it, man. Especially with the wave of these new shows that he's got coming. I think he's sold out Yankee Stadium 2-night event celebrating Black Album, and also Reasonable Doubt. No, actually celebrating the Blueprint and Reasonable Doubt. Then he's got the shows with the Roots at the Roots Family Picnic, which I think we were trying to go to. And what I want to say now is, if you hit like and subscribe, we're going to give, personally, the Weekend Rhyme is going to give the 500 subscriber tickets, well, one ticket, the one ticket, we growing, one ticket to the Roots Family Picnic. We ain't flying you out there because we ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't putting you in no hotel room, but the 500th subscriber, we can see in the back end who's the 500th. If you get us to 500 subscribers, we'll give you one ticket to the Roots Picnic, and
For
you can
sure.
enjoy yourselves. Details in the bottom. But let's go to the next thing, man. Actually, I want to take a little break. So the NBA playoffs have started. Maybe people won't be tuning in because they're watching the playoffs. I ain't gonna front. This is one of the first playoffs in a long time that I'm kind of mildly interested in. I think I really have not been an NBA, aficionado or checking in with them over the past, few years. But with the NBA being back on NBC and on Peacock, I like what they do. I like the intro. They brought some of that old school NBA on NBC style back from when we grew up. The music, Bob Costas, the intros. I kind of like that. They did a throwback night where they had like Mike Fratello, they had PJ Carlissimo, Hannah Storm. They brought everybody back, and I kind of like that. So I've been liking what's going on with the NBA on NBC playoffs. So I'm gonna go rapid fire real quick because I know we more football guys, but we touching on basketball. Rapid fire. I'm gonna ask you some questions, Super. Do you think the Golden State Warriors did not make the playoffs and they lost? I don't know who they lost to, but they got knocked out. Is the Golden State Warriors, as we know, done?
Yeah, I mean, they done. They got to trade Draymond Green. They got to rebuild. They got to build something around Steph. I mean, like with the current situation that they got, yeah, they done, man. I mean, like it's been I think all of the vets are done. I think LeBron James done. I think Kevin Durant done. I think all of the guys that's been in the league for over 10 to 12 years, they done. I don't think none of them winning the championship again, to be honest with you. No matter even if they team up together. I think they done. LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant can get on the same team tomorrow, and they still not going to win the championship. I mean, yeah, I think that these dudes is old, man. Steph Curry is what, 37? I want to say Steph
38.
Curry, 38. Like, Steph Curry's an old man now, man. Like, Draymond Green is an old man now. They not the dynasty that they was a couple years ago. You know what I mean? It's younger teams. Half I'm embarrassed of myself right now because I grew up a big NBA fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to know every starting lineup, every team, every bench player. And maybe about 5-6 years ago, I kind of I lost that ability. Like, I kind of lost my interest in the NBA as far as like being a fan like that, as far as knowing bench players and knowing the starting five. So I'm not as in tune with the NBA as I used to be. But I'm gonna say this, man. I mean, these new guys, they not giving people a real reason to remember them like that. I mean, it's a lot of young guys that's developing, and all of the OGs is getting old. So yes, the Golden State Warriors are done. Like they done. It's over for them. I don't see Steph Curry, LeBron James, or Kevin Durant winning the championship again in their career at all.
Man, I think it's time just to start all over. I think they are done. I think Steve Kerr probably needs to go to coach somewhere else. I think if I'm Steph Curry, I'm looking to go somewhere else. And if I'm Draymond, I'm looking to go somewhere else. So just start all over. You know what I'm saying? Just be done with it. Second question.
I don't think Steph should go nowhere though. I mean, Draymond can go because he like that type of player that he can probably go and help out a team to win a championship because of his role playing ability. But a guy like Steph, man, I don't think that there's nobody you can match him up with. Like, where are you supposed to send Steph to? Milwaukee to hoop with Giannis, or he got to stay in Golden State. You got to like let him go out in glory. You know what I mean? I can't like that's one of those guys that I can't see the Golden State Warriors allowing him to switch a team. You know what I mean? I don't think that they gonna pay him whatever he need to keep him there so he can retire as a Golden State Warrior. He gonna be they biggest and they most decorated player ever in their whole franchise history. It's gonna be a statue of Steph Curry outside of Golden State Warriors. It's the house that he built. So yes, I mean I don't want to see Steph hoop nowhere else. To be honest with you, I want Steph to be kind of like a Giannis, or I want Giannis to be like Steph and stay with the Bucks and stay with the Golden State
No,
Warriors
man,
until his
y'all,
time is done.
nah, see, now you talking like a homer, man.
No,
You know it's time for
I'm
Giannis to
talking,
go, man.
Ron, you know what I'm talking like? I'm talking like I'm Giannis. Remember all that talk Giannis was talking? He was talking all that big shit. He don't want to
But
go
now he
nowhere.
started talking. Now he ain't talking like that no more. He
Hey,
talking like he
regardless,
want.
so what?
He talking like he want.
Look, I still want we keeping Giannis. I think I told you before, man. I think that Giannis is trying to act unhappy, and he was trying not to make it look like the Bucks was tanking. But yeah, I think the Bucks was tanking from the beginning of the year. This is supposed to be one of those great
It's time
drafts.
for Giannis. Giannis getting old, and Giannis ain't gonna have the athleticism as he used to have. It's time for him to go somewhere else.
No, it's time for Giannis
And
to
then
get some real help.
you send Giannis to Miami, which they talking about sending Giannis to Miami, put him with Bam, put him with some other folks. That's a good look. Send
No, it's not.
Giannis down to Miami in the Pat Riley system. That's a good look. You know what I'm
Look,
saying? Send Giannis to Dallas.
how him and Bam gonna hoop together?
It's gonna be a 1-2 punch. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like
I
how
think
back
that
in the day you had David.
I look at Giannis and Steph as the same kind of type of player in a way. Not really to say that like their game are the same, but they the same type of player as far as like you can't just take them somewhere and put them somewhere and expect to win. I don't think there's a perfect place for Giannis or Steph to go to where that it's an instant ring. Like where do you think that Steph where you can just play Steph and they win in the championship because they get Steph Curry? I don't think that there's a team like that. I don't think there's a team like that for Giannis. I don't think that you just take Giannis and put him on the Knicks and they win the championship. Or I don't think that it's not that simple. Especially in today's NBA, these teams are kind of growing up together. The teams that's good right now, they young and they've been building together. They becoming real teams right now. There's no super team and no quick fix is going to work in the NBA right now. So as far as Steph and Giannis go, they need to stay where they at and let the rookies come and help them out. Build that team.
Man, if I'm Giannis, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's not a lot of places you can just plug and play and they're gonna win the championships. I guess it's the best solution, but if I'm Giannis, I want to see what I think that Miami trade would be interesting. Maybe they got to trade Bam. I don't think they're gonna trade Bam because they love Bam, but maybe he got to go to Miami. Maybe that's the situation. Maybe it's Bam. Maybe it's Giannis and somebody else. You know what I'm saying? To go down to maybe it's Giannis and what's my man in Cleveland? Maybe he trying to get his contract about to be up. You know what I'm saying? What's my man name?
You talk
What's my
about
man name in Cleveland?
Mitchell. Donovan
Yeah,
Mitchell.
maybe it's Mitchell and Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe it's
That's not
Donovan
good
Mitchell
enough
and
though.
Giannis or something.
That's what I'm saying. That ain't good enough. There's
You
there's
know,
no place to make these guys go and put them on a winning team. I mean, the NBA been doing that with Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant can't just go get placed on the team and put them over the top, what makes you think Giannis or Steph, especially at the age that they are now, that you can just go place them somewhere and drop them off, and then all of a sudden they instant championship team? No, they're gonna be a playoff team or a play-in team, or they're gonna struggle to make the playoffs still, especially in the Western Conference. Yeah, they're gonna still struggle. You can't put Giannis on the Pistons and they become a championship team, even though the Pistons is a good team right now. But you can't put Giannis over there and they just off instant become better. There's no quick fix to Giannis and Steph Curry. So they need to stay
but
where
the
they
thing
are.
about it is, man, Milwaukee's a dope city, and shout out to not saying that because my brother Super's in Milwaukee, but a lot of free agents ain't coming to Milwaukee. So where he gonna get help from?
I mean, look,
Where
that
he gonna get
I
help
think
from?
that's a empty ass excuse. That's an empty ass NBA excuse. I mean, if you really think about it, bro, it ain't too many places to hoop at. You got Atlanta, you got LA, you got Houston, maybe New York, if you
You
want to
got
deal with all
Dallas.
that.
You got Dallas.
But people don't really like Dallas
You
like
got
that, though.
Dallas.
The Hoopers don't really care for Dallas. They don't really care to be in Dallas. It's okay, but they don't really care to be in Dallas like that. Dallas ain't no spot for free agents really like that. They got a owner that can afford to bring people in. They always had one, but as far as it being like a city that's popping or whatever, Dallas is grimy as hell.
Miami.
People, yeah, but that's what I mean. You got 6 places to go, man. If you can't get to the 6 places to go, that small market shit is like, that's like a non-talk. That's like nothing to be talking about, man. I mean, if you're a hooper and you getting paid to hoop,
Well, they
go
gotta
hoop.
get so y'all gonna run it back with Doc? Y'all gonna bring Doc back or Doc done?
We should have never hired Doc, to be honest with you. But whatever. I mean, we should have never hired Doc. Doc had no place. We should have never got rid of the coach we had. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
why y'all got rid of because yeah, y'all gave up on that coach too soon. But that
Right?
was
He never
Giannis
even.
though. Giannis made that decision.
I think it was. I think it was the whole team. I mean, it was the whole team. They didn't have no respect for him. They had a coach that they respected. They should have never let go of Budenhauser in the first place. He didn't deserve to get let go. He should have still been the butt. We should have never let go of Budenhauser after his brother died and after he was having a bad playoffs after his brother died. He had a tragedy going on in his family, and then we fired him because he wasn't focused and because Giannis was hurt. Giannis was hurt the same year we fired the coach. It didn't even make sense. So even like what I
Right,
said with
right,
Giannis complaining and acting like the Bucks been breaking their neck for Giannis. The Bucks then brought in Damian Lillard. They re-signed Chris Middleton because they wanted him to. They then re-signed all his brothers. They doing everything that they can to bring a winning atmosphere to Giannis. Giannis has been hurt the last couple of years. We made the playoffs. He fell, he dunked and fell and hurt his ass bone or some shit like that on one year against the Suns. Right when we was playing the Suns, we was supposed to win the championship the bubble year. I think he hurt his ass that year. And then the year before that, he hurt his back. All of the years that we done missed the playoffs since we won the championship, Giannis been hurt. So he can't act like the Bucks ain't done enough. And then the Damian Lillard shit just didn't work out. The Bucks been breaking their neck for Giannis. Giannis know that. This whole year has been an act. Believe me when I'm telling y'all this. Giannis is acting a fool, acting like he want to get traded because the Bucks were tanking. He don't want to look like he that type of tanking guy, and he don't want to hoop with a superstar still. I don't see Giannis going nowhere, man. Y'all fell for the trick, and now we don't look guilty for taking. It is what it is, man. It's cool.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what y'all think. Y'all tuning into this NBA postseason. Who you got winning it all? A lot of good series. I think that the Lakers and Rockets series is a good one. Battle of the old school dudes. KD versus LeBron. We're gonna see how that shake out. Atlanta versus the Knicks. You got Boston versus Boston beat the hell out of Philly today. That's a situation that might need to get blown up with Joel Embiid. You know what I'm saying? He not be healthy. So yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Before we get out of here, we're gonna touch into another topic that we didn't cover that's been in hip hop over the last 2-3 weeks. As you might have heard on the internet's, Pooh Shiesty and several of his associates, including his pops, were arrested due to an alleged incident in a Dallas recording studio against Gucci Mane relative to his contract situation. Allegedly, they robbed Gucci Mane. It's a federal offense. And now people on the internet have an opinion and saying that, Guap is cooperating. They've thrown out the word snitch. They've thrown out all types of things. I just want to say, before we have this conversation, we have to start, understanding the definition of words. Being a victim of a crime and giving a statement when you're in a victim. So, for example, if someone to break into my home and assault, you know, somebody in my home, which I wouldn't recommend that because you probably wouldn't happen. But let's say it did happen, right? uh, and the police come to my home and they give a statement. You know what I'm saying? And I give a statement. I say this person XY assaulted someone in my home. Uh, that is not being a snitch. That is being, uh, a citizen that has been a victim of a situation, giving a statement. As somebody broke into my hotel room and I got them on tape and they stole my valuables and my belongings and I can identify who the person was, That's not being a snitch. A snitch is someone, two people doing an illegal activity together, and one person gets caught, and to get themselves out of trouble, they implicate or point the finger at the person they were doing the crime with. That is a snitch. This all goes back to when the situation with Troy Ave and Taxstone happened in New York. People were calling Troy Ave a snitch. No, he was a victim. He got shot. His friend got murdered, got killed. That's not being a snitch. But maybe I'm old. Maybe I don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I've been in the suburbs too long. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I don't think Gucci or anybody involved in that situation is snitching if they did what they said they did and provided statements and things like that. What say you, Super, about this Gucci Pooh Shiesty situation?
I'm gonna say what I said in one of these chats, man, about this whole situation. We gotta grow up. I think that hip hop as a community, man, we gotta grow the fuck up. This is like the most immature conversation I ever heard. I mean, one moment everybody was on the board of saying F the streets. This was just a couple months ago. Everybody was just like, yeah, F the streets is dead, gangsters is dead, the gangster lifestyle is dead, it's played out, we ain't with that shit no more, the streets is dead. That's what we was all on board with this. We was mad at rappers for rejecting that the streets was dead, right? Everybody was like, yeah, man, let that shit die. But Gucci Man get robbed at gunpoint, get his wedding ring took, get other people involved. Like I said, this ain't even a Gucci Man all the way issue. Regardless if Gucci Man, I don't look at it as snitching. If he told on them niggas, he told. Like, it's a difference between snitching and telling. Don't put me in a position to tell on you. I look at it, my definition of snitching is, Ron, me and you, we go do a crime. I get caught. And then I say, Ron did it with me. And then I just get to telling the story about how you was a part of the crime and you was a part of if we do a crime together and I tell on you, that's snitching. If you a victim of a crime and like I said, I don't care if Gucci said that Pooh Shiesty robbed me, he called the police himself, or the other people did it, or the camera caught him, or the ankle monitor told on him. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care at this point. What do hip hop expect Gucci Man to do? Run these dudes down at the airport? Try to go catch them before they get on the plane or before they hit the highway to go back to Memphis? What did they really expect Gucci to do in a situation to where this dude just getting out of prison not too long ago? I don't know if he's still on paper or not, but what do you expect a man that's trying to change their life and say fuck the streets? Like, everybody was just on this bandwagon a minute ago. Everybody was saying fuck the streets. Fuck the streets was trending. Everybody talking about dropping their flags. Everybody saying gangsterism is dead. But now, when it come down to Gucci, we saying that Gucci violated the code and he's a victim. I think that, like I said, man, we got to grow up, man. It's like, at some point or another, man, it's like we got to learn we got to put some rules to this shit. What is snitching, man? What is snitching? I mean, I always thought snitching was telling on somebody that did a crime with you. If I'm not part of the crime, don't put me in a position to snitch on you. Is all I'm saying. If we get pulled over in the car and I'm driving, you in my car, you got your gun on you, don't put me in the position to tell on you. I'm not snitching, I'm telling. I'm telling that shit ain't mine. Hey, man, that shit ain't mine. If that's snitching on you, then that's snitching on you. Like, I just think that it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? I think that people gotta, like, I don't know, man. We gotta grow up, bro. I mean, really, that's the only thing I can think of. Because
I mean, sometimes we snitch on ourselves, man. How you gonna allegedly commit a crime
right.
when you got an ankle monitor on, and you got off-duty police officers working security? So, I mean, who thought this out?
Off-duty
Who
police
thought this was
officers
a good
working
idea?
security. Off-duty police officers working security. Cameras, Facebook, social media evidence, rental car evidence. Like, you stopping at Staples, if that's even real. I mean, it's a lot of conflicting stories about what's happening and what we was told initially. The FBI, and for some reason, whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but the FBI can't never get they press conferences right about the shit that they be talking about. This is the same shit that happened with Diddy back a while ago when the FBI did their press conference and they talked about the shit that they had, and then when they let it come out that they didn't have half of the shit that they were saying in the press conference. This is kind of maybe similar, you know what I mean, where they saying that they had this, but at the end of the day they don't have that. So it's murky. And me as a Pooh Shiesty fan, like I said, I'm a Pooh Shiesty fan, and I like Gucci too. But that all this street shit, and if Gucci told or not, I'm not as a hip hop fan. I'm not judging nothing by that shit. I'm too grown for that, man. I'm not in the who snitching, who told, if they live in their rhymes. I'm not in that crowd of hip hop fan. That's just not my style of what qualifies me to like your music or not. I don't care if Gucci told on that nigga. I don't care. He shouldn't have did that dumbass shit. And I think that, I seen Cameron talking about that, talking about this case and calling them dumb. And, allegedly, Cam allegedly did the same thing as Sony. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the 90s, man. Like, Cam was able to do what he did. I'm sure it wasn't cameras everywhere at the time and at the moment. And, for him to say the things that he was saying about it, I kind of found it kind of like, I don't want to say hypocritical, because like I said, I think he did the same exact thing, but it is what it is, bro. Like, this is a whole different time zone that we live in there, man. You can't move and we can't do shit like it was the 90s, man. You can't be Pooh Shiesty, top shotter, CEO, boss, your own shooter. You go on the ankle monitor, burglar, robber. You can't do all that shit at the same time, man, and expect that nothing's gonna happen. So this shit is just an example of grow the fuck up, bro. Grow up, man. Everybody grow up. This shit shouldn't even be. We shouldn't even be really entertaining and talking about this shit. This ain't nothing for us as fans of music to even be talking about it, for niggas snitched or not. To be honest with you, it's whack.
It's whack. It's whack. I'm with you, brother, 100%, man. We wanted to touch on it, and I think you spoke on it in the right and correct way. Again, we got to move off. We got to start using our brains and start thinking logically, strategically. We too grown to be doing dumb mistakes like this, and really get your definition straight. Define snitching and what it really means, and
Right.
and then make sure it applies to the situation at hand, man. And again, this really ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing to do with Super. This ain't got nothing to do with hip hop fans in general. This is a matter of someone being robbed, and a situation gonna run its course. You know what I'm saying? I like Pooh Shiesty. I was rooting for Pooh Shiesty when he came out. First day out was dope. We talked about it on the platform. I was looking forward to seeing what his next wave would be, but maybe there won't be another wave, man. Hopefully there will be. I don't know. All this is allegedly. We don't know what the facts are, what the truth is, what the truth isn't. But we gotta start moving a little bit differently, more strategically.
I'm gonna come out and on some real shit and just say it. Don't free Pooh Shiesty, man. Don't free Pooh Shiesty. Like, he don't. Hey, he don't value his freedom, man. Like, he don't like that move that he made. When like I said, I think about it, bro. Like, just think about it, Ron. How many albums do Pooh Shiesty even got?
Right,
Do you
like
know?
one, I think, right?
Like one album.
One.
Even if the man wanted to get out, if he wanted to get out the deal with Gucci, right? After a one album deal, you got one album, bro. Like, I'm sure that his initial contract was probably for 3 albums or something like that, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, at least meet the nigga halfway. You got one album and one hot single since you've been home from out of jail. And now you trying to come kick in the door, and you come guns blazing talking about getting out the deal when you ain't even fulfilled not even half of this shit. It's like, it's idiotic, bro. It's idiotic. And this shit ain't nothing for us as fans to even have no real judgment on. I can't judge what Gucci did as far as telling on Pooh Shiesty, not wanting to risk his freedom, trying to kill him or go get revenge. I think that Gucci did what he was supposed to do as a mature adult that has been to the feds, that has been through this shit, and somebody that's trying to change his life. He did what he was supposed to do as a responsible adult, and just tell. If he didn't tell, the other people told. So what would Gucci look like being the only person saying, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, when you got 8 to 7 other people saying it was Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty did this. Pooh Shiesty did this to Gucci.
And off duty,
right.
And off-duty police officers saying he did it.
Right. You got all these other people saying it. And so what would Gucci look like saying, I don't know nothing. I ain't see nothing. I don't know nothing. And then if anything should happen because Gucci want to try to go get some revenge or some get back, everybody looking at him. So yeah, he played it smart. You don't risk your freedom for somebody else doing some dumbass shit. Let the nigga that's doing dumb shit do the dumb shit. This shit is shouldn't.
Because
I can't believe that we even got to talk about this.
It's so crazy. They could have got him for making false statements if he said, you know what I'm saying? They looking to bang anybody up. So it is what it is, man. But we had to touch on it. I can't believe we talking about it either. It's really simple. You know what I'm saying? It's really black and white, cut and dry. But it is what it is. We wanted to speak about it because there was so much crazy information and crazy memes and shit like that on the nets. We wanted to kind of unpack, man. But we're gonna get out of here. We wanted to really touch base with the people because we hadn't been on here in about a couple weeks. But any last words before we get out of here, Super?
Hey, I'm gonna just tell the people, man. I promise y'all, we're gonna do more shows and we're gonna be more consistent as soon as that music start rolling, man. Like, you know, we some real niggas, man. We don't like getting on here talking about all this gossip. Me personally, as for one, I mean, I'm the Intercontinental champ. I'm in the truck rolling around. I'm listening to music all day. And, you know, I'm looking forward to being able to talk about something new, something dope that then came out. And they just ain't giving it to us, y'all. So that's why our show's been a little bit sporadic because me personally, bro, it take a lot for me to get on here and talk about all this gossipy shit. I prefer to talk about the music and the albums and the artists and the dope shit that's been dropping versus the gossip. So salute to y'all. Stick with us.
No doubt.
As soon as that music keep coming, we gonna keep coming with the shows, y'all, for sure.
No doubt. I couldn't have said it any better, man. But make sure you hit like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Again, 500 sub. We're gonna send you a ticket before to the Roots picnic. You know, 1 ticket. So lock in. Tell a friend. Get us to 500. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about today's show, and we'll have new music to talk about next time. My name is RKY Ron. That is Super Duper. This is the Weekend Rhyme. Peace.
Salute.